This is the lightweight boxing show, and we have had now the public workout, Amir Khan against Kell Brook. Both men have been in the ring. Of course, we had the full undercard as well. And we're joined in the lightweight boxing show by a man, well, he's been on before, obviously, with the pair of us, Charlie Edwards. You've been in these situations before, Charlie. You've been these world title fights. This isn't a title fight, but you know what I mean, these mega fights, if you like, and you're going to have more coming up. What have you made of the whole thing today? And the two lads themselves at the top of the bill?
Do you know what? Like, it's not a world title fight, but it's got that feeling like it is one. And that's because everything's on the line. It's pride. It's leaving the sport with your head held high. And whoever loses is going to have to live with that forevermore. And the pride and the pressure is on. So it's like a world title fight. It feels like it. The whole hall was absolutely buzzing with fans. It's really nice to see. It's big time boxing, feels like it's back, and after the years we've had, it's lovely to see, and the atmosphere in it is booming.
Yeah. Charles, after watching them both there at the public workout, what did you take from both? We knew that both was going to be in amazing shape. Is there anything you took from that at all?
I thought Brook did look very sharp and very good on the pads. I think Dominic Ingle and him, they obviously gel very well on the pads, and they've got that flashy kind of like Ingle style, and it looks great. Khan just was cool, calm and collective. He ain't really shown much today, which is clever. You couldn't really take anything away from Khan. He looks in good spirits. His energy's full of energy. He looks like he's done the weight very well. Kell didn't look actually drained at all, but he hasn't made the weight yet. He's still got to make the weight cut.
The next 48 hours are so vital. I keep saying this. Like, for me, Kell looked amazing, so much better than he expected. But we've got to see the difference between now and 48 hours.
Yeah, when you look at these two, and also everyone's trying to overanalyze, I suppose, now what happens, and I'm going to ask you two again what happens at the end. But you know, when the little things that you're looking for, these tiny margins, you know, the gloves are off with Johnny Nelson, who's beside us now, when the two came head to head. I've got to say, I thought Khan handled it very, very well.
I think, do you know what? Amir's pretty sharp, pretty witty, but I think Kell on that side of things, he always falls into the trap of doing it, and I believe there's a bit of hatred there from Kell. You might say there's not, but there's bad blood, and the bad blood's genuine, where I think Amir's a bit like, I'm not your biggest fan, but whatever. Whereas I think with Kell, like you say, he wants to, you know, there's dislike there, there's genuine dislike there, so I think that's what makes him bite back so quick in the gloves are off and stuff like that, and over the years on ringside and so on. I think that's a big part of it.
I picked up on that as well, and do you know what, I just felt like Brook was a bit emotionally involved. And in the fight game, we all know, we've all been there, when you're emotionally involved like that, and he looked like Khan really got under his skin and he really hates him, that's not always the best way. Like for Khan, he put his hand out, he was laughing, he was joking. It's personal, but it's not personal. He's here to do a number, he's here to do the job in front of everyone and walk away with his head held high in the sport and cement his legacy. Brook looks bitter and angry, and I think that could play out in the fight, because I think Amir will be very clever early doors, which I think Brook won't be expecting. I really think Brook thinks he's just going to land one and put him away, and to have that mentality, it's not good.
One thing I'll take about, you know, from that and from the old build-up is, listen, it's a must-win for both fighters. However, I believe that if Kell's to win, Amir can go away, disappointed, and, you know, look back on a great career. Kell, he's had an unbelievable career, but I believe he'd take the loss much harsher, because it's deeper for him. I think he's felt, he says in the gloves are off, you know, I've never got the credit off you, you know, just the sign of respect to him. And I think Amir sort of cleverly played that, like, you know, right, well done, but didn't really mean it. Do you know, it was clever from him.
Well, I'm going to get your predictions in a second, but I need to talk about you now for a minute, because you were out before Christmas. What's the plan now? What's happening?
I have just finalised my contract with my new promotional outfit, which will be coming along in the next few days. A bit of news coming. I'm looking to be fighting in April. The massive fights on the card. It's looking like it's going to be a world title eliminator, and then back in the mix. No messing around now. All systems go. I'm 29 now, no spring chicken. I'm in a good place mentally, physically, emotionally. Teamed up with Joe, and I'm in a very good place in the team. The team's booming, and I'm feeling confident again. So now it's time to push into that world scene, win another world title. This time I'll be campaigning at super flyweight. and then after that not stay around too long, and then my goals is to move up to bantamweight and win another world title. Like I've got very high goals that I want to hit and want to achieve, and these next 3-4 years is where it's going to happen, and so it's all systems go for me.
Looking all right in the gym?
He looks really well. I said it all the time, I know it's a bit, but it's certainly one of the hardest workers, or the hardest worker in the room always. Charles, I'm not just saying that because he's there, and you said like it's been revitalised. But last time out was a great performance, and yeah, world titles by the end of this year.
Right, what happens on Saturday night, Kell Brook?
For me, I think Khan will play smart early on. I don't think we'll see him coming out all gun-ho and just letting fast hand speed. I think he's going to make it a bit more awkward for Brook, because Brook's going to expect him to come out like firing on all cylinders. I think he understands and he knows that he can't do that, because if he does get caught on the chin, he is vulnerable, and he knows Kell can punch. So I believe he'll see through the early rounds quite smart and clever, but with blistering hand speed in between the exchanges, first and last. But I do believe it won't go 8 rounds, and I believe Khan will get him out of it.
We'll get your final thoughts tomorrow, no point now.
Yes.
You've got another 24 hours.
I can sit on the fence a bit longer.
You can indeed.